The main objective of the ICICI was to meet the needs of the industry for long-term funds, export and import bank. It is also called as EXIM bank. The IDBA provides the loan for the big-scale industries. NABARD is one of the primary institution in the development of the agricultural and allied sector in India. Hello my dear students, I am your AJ sir, faculty, Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram, First Grade College, MYSURU, a temple of excellence. My dear students, in today's session I am going to handle the subject Management of Service for second sem B.B.A. The topic is Banking and Insurance. So in the previous session we were discussing about the points. In this session also we are going to discuss some other points in the types of banks. Industrial Finance Corporation of India. So this is the institution which provides the loan for the industrial development. After the IDBA, this is one of the important sector which provides the financial service for the industrial development, which is established in the year of the first development financial institution in India. It was established in the year of 1948. So in order to provide the industrial service or industrial finance for the development of the industries, or it may be state level, we have state level financial corporation. For the national level, we have IFC, so Industrial Financial Corporation of India. So in order to provide the financial service for the private sector establishment, these banks acts as a very important role. Next one, the main objective of the IFCI: render financial assistance to large-scale industrial units, particularly at a time when the ordinary banks are not forthcoming to assist this concern. What do you mean by that? For example, I am a industrial concern or I am a industrial. I will go to other major banks. It may be private banks and public sector banks. If those banks refuse to give finance to me, then this type of institution, the Industrial Financial Corporation or Industrial Finance Corporation of India, will help me to come up with the sick industries. So that's why we need IFCI. So in case of any other industry or any other banks refuse to provide the finance, so this IFCI will provide the finance for the development of industry. That's why in this order, the IFCI is helping the industrial development in the country. Next one, Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India. This is one of the private sector largest industrial sector banks which is running under the private sector. This is established in the year of 1955. So the ICICI was set up in the year of 1955 as a public limited company. It is actually established as the public limited company, but later it became the private limited bank. The main objective of the ICICI was to meet the needs of the industry for long-term funds in private sector. What do you mean by that? So the main objective of the ICICI is to provide the loan or to industrial activity, mainly for the private sector industrial activity. So in order to provide the finance for the, or also in order to develop the financial or maybe industrial sector in the private sector, this type of banks will provide the financial help for the private sector. The main objective of the ICICI is to provide the loan for the industrial development in the private sector, which is established in the year of 1955. Next one, Export and Import Bank. It is also called as EXIM Bank. So EXIM Bank is the bank which provides the loan for the export. For example, I am the investor or I am the business person. I want to purchase a machinery. I am also importing a products or importing any other goods from other country. So I cannot directly pay the amount to the foreign supplier or it may be foreign recipient of the goods. So in this regard, this bank will help me to pay the finance or it may be receive the finance or money from the foreign country. So any person cannot directly act while in the foreign exchange. So any person cannot directly act or receive the finance or provide the finance while purchasing or selling the goods. between the two countries. So they have to go through the bank. It may be bank here, for example, in our country I am having EXIM bank. In their country they will be having other banks which is called American banks, like any other banks. So we have to finance, or we have to trade through the banks, not individually. So whatever the amount, if I deposit my amount, so after the receiving of the goods, or after the receiving of the supply of the goods, the bank will pay the amount to the foreign banks, and this foreign banks will pay the amount to the foreign customer or foreign supplier of the product. So I am the supplier of the product. In case I have to go to the bank, I have to first deposit some amount before supply. This EXIM bank will go to give the information to the foreign bank regarding the amount deposited. Then the supplier here, the supplier will send the goods to the Indian port. Once the goods reached, so this bank, our EXIM bank, will give the information to the foreign bank, the goods are reached. Then our EXIM bank will pay the amount to the foreign banks, and this bank will pay the amount to the supplier. Like this, in the international trade, we can the direct participation in the exchange of finance is very is not necessary. So we can go through banks only. Next one, it is a statutory corporation wholly owned by the government of India in order to control the foreign exchange. That's why government, it's fully controlled by the government. It was established on the year of January 1st, 1982. It was established in the year of 1982 for the purpose of financing, facilitating and promoting the foreign trade in India. So in order to promote the foreign trade in the India, so this bank help as a middleman between the foreign bank and also the recipient of the goods. If I am the recipient of the goods, I have to approach the EXIM bank, and this EXIM bank will provide the finance for me. If in case if I need any loan to pay the foreign banks or foreign customers, this EXIM bank will provide the finance. After certain period or after certain time, I have to pay back the loan to the EXIM bank. It may be 3 months or it may be 6 months types of loan are available. Next, coming to the Small Industrial Development Banks of India, SIDBI. This is the state level bank. So IDBI is the central level bank. SIDBI comes under state level bank. Was established in the year of October 1989. This is the year where this type of banks were established, and the commenced its operation from April 1919. It is actually established in the year of 1989, but commenced its operation in the 1990. The prime aim of the SIDBI is to promote and develop small industries by providing them a valuable factor of production finance. So in order to provide the small scale industries, see, IDBI provides the loan for the big scale industries, and ICCI, this type of banks will provide the loan for the private sector industry, that is also bigger in scale. And also the FCI will provide the long term loan for the development of the big scale industries. So coming to the small scale and medium scales, this SIDBA, Small Scale Industrial Development Bank of India, will provide the small scale industry, that too in the state level. So every state level we will be having SIDBA. This type of banks will provide the small scale, medium scale and cottage industries for development, or also production oriented. So if you want to take loan from the SIDBA, our small scale, it should be small scale industry, or it may be cottage industry, or it may be the medium scale industry. This type of industry, only production oriented industry can get the finance from the SIDBI. Next one, National Bank for Agricultural and Rural Development. So NABARD is one of the primary institution in the development of the agricultural and allied sector in India. So it was established in the year of 12th July 1982 by the Special Act of the Parliament. So these are the banks. It may be IDBI or it may be National Bank for Agricultural and Rural Development, NABARD. These are all the banks which are established under the Special Act of Parliament. Why it is established under the Special Act of Parliament? Because these types of banks will perform special duties for the help of the special sectors. It may be like agricultural sector or it may be like industrial sector. That's why these type of banks were established under the Special Parliament Act. Next one, this specialization bank is a central or apex institution for the financing agricultural and rural sector. See, this type of banks also controls the cooperative banks in the rural area. It may be small banks or it may be regional rural bank or RB. So we will call it as a Kaveri Gramin Bank or it may be Karnataka Gramin Bank. We are having so many Gramin banks now. So these are all institutions comes under the NABARD, and also NABARD provides the information for the government in order to take any decisions regarding the agricultural development in the country, and also it conducts the statistics for the development of the agricultural activity, and also it gives the information for the government. So any agricultural development in the country or any agricultural information in the country will go through by the NABARD. So it is one of the very important institution or any important bank in the development of the agricultural sectors in the country. Next one, it can provide credit both short term and long term through regional rural banks. So already explained you. So this NABARD will provide the small and medium term loan, not long term loan for the credit for the development of the agriculture. Why we need small scale loan or small term loan? So in order to purchase the fertilizer, in order to purchase the seeds. So this, it may be 3 months loan or it may be 6 months loan will be provided. It is a small scale or small term loan. Next one, for the medium term, in order to purchase the small machineries or in order to purchase the small or development of the land, like that type of developments, it provides the assistance or financial assistance. Next one, it provides financial assistance especially to cooperative credit. I would explain, if it is a cooperative society or regional rural bank, that type of banks will get the financial facility from the NABARD. Next one, in the field of agriculture, small scale industries, if you have any small scale industry in the field of agriculture for development of, or it may be production oriented or it may be service oriented, that type of industry will get the finance in the rural area. Next one, cottage. Cottage means in our home only we will start the small type of industry. That type of industry will be called as cottage industry. It is like in our home. For example, if you have seen in a rural area, in one part of the house they will be living and other part of the house they will transfer that with small machineries and all. They will transform that particular part of the home will be as a small industry or small production unit. It may be like cottage industry and village industries. Those industries which is taking the or providing the employment in the village area and also taking the resource from the village area. These industries will be called as village industries. Handicraft industry, so making articles through our hand, that's what handicraft industries and allied economic activity in rural area. So mainly it is concentration on rural area. So it may be handicraft, it may be agricultural industry, or it may be cottage, or it may be small scale industry. These are all the industries. And also cooperative society or cooperative credit. Cooperative society is a society having so many members in order to achieve the aim goal, or it may be in order to achieve the goal, or it may be cooperative in order to help for every members, one for all for one. In this motto they will run the cooperative society. So if in case those cooperative societies needs any loan, they can approach the regional rural bank and also NABARD to get the financial facility. Next slide. Traditional service of banking. See what are we have bifurcated the service provided by the bank as a traditional service and modern service. You can expect this type of question in the exam. What are the traditional service provided by the banks and what are the modern service provided by the bank? This type of question you can expect for 15 marks in the exam. Next one, promissory notes. What do you mean by promissory notes? A promissory note is a financial instrument. It is an instrument, it is a financial instrument that contains written promise by a one party, the notes issuer. So if I am a note issuer, so I will promise that to pay another party and a definite sum of money either on demand or on a specific future date. So it is a contract, or it is a promissory note is a document where I am the promiser. where I will promise I will pay it maybe 10,000 or 1 lakh rupees on the future date or the demanded by the other party. If the other party demands to pay the amount, I have to pay the amount. This is called as promissory note. So next point, bills of exchange. Now what do you mean by bills of exchange? See here, a bills of exchange is a written order. It is a written document primarily in the internal trade that binds one party to pay fixed sum of money to another party on demand or at a predetermined date. What do you mean by that? Say bills of exchange. For example, if I purchase a product, the seller will issue a bill for me. Okay, it will be having 3 months duration. So in this time, for example, if I purchase on 1/1/21, if I purchase a product, that seller will issue a bill for me. So the bill will be containing after 3 months. It's like it is 31st/3/21. This is the due date of the bill where I have to pay the amount to the seller. So in this time, it will be having 3 months duration. In this time, if the seller needs urgent money for the business activity, but I cannot pay the money now as a purchaser, I will be having 3 months duration. Why I should pay money now? In this 3 months, this seller will go to the bank. You will be having a bill where I have signed the bill after 3 months or within 3 months I will pay the amount of the product. So this will be containing the information. So he will exchange the bill with the bank. So he will exchange the bill with the bank and he will get the amount that's called as bills of exchange. So in the bills of exchange, banks provide the amount with pledging of the bill, bank provide the amount. This is called as bills of exchange. So once after 3 months, I have to pay the amount for the bank in case of failure to pay the bills amount. So this is called as bills of exchange. Next one, checks. What do you mean by checks? So check is an order by the customer to the bank to pay or to withdraw the sum of amount. In the check, we can order the bank to pay this amount to certain person. So section 6 of the Act provides that the check is a bills of exchange drawn on the specified banker and not expressed to be payable otherwise than on demand. So we can demand the bank to pay certain amount to certain person through the order. So check is an order. Next one, cash credit. What do you mean by cash credit? In this type of credit scheme, bank advances loan to its customer on the basis of bonds, inventories and other approved securities. So in this cash credit, banks provides the loan or advance the loan to its customer on the basis of bonds. It may be bonds, it will pledge the bond, or maybe it will pledge the inventories and also provide the securities, approved securities. Under this scheme, customers can withdraw many times during the year. Under this setup, banks open accounts of their customers and deposit the loan money. What do you mean by that? See, for example, cash credit means bank will open my account in my name. For example, I need a cash credit for the 1 lakh rupees. So what I can do? So I will go to the bank. So I will pledge certain asset, or it may be securities, or it may be inventories, or it may be bonds. So on the basis of the bond, bank sanction 1 lakh rupees for me. So this 1 lakh rupees, I need not to withdraw for whole 1 lakh rupees today itself. So what bank will do? So bank will open a bank account or loan account in my name and deposit 1 lakh rupees to my account. So I can withdraw any amount what I needed. So I need not to withdraw full 1 lakh rupees. So I can withdraw amount how much I needed actually. And also bank charges interest only withdrawn amount, not on full amount. This is the cash credit meaning. So cash credit is a credit facility extended by the bank to its customer on the basis of bonds and other securities, where the bank will open a bank account or loan account in the name of the customer and deposit the amount to that account where, and also the bank will charge the interest only withdrawn amount, not on full amount. So I will be having facility to withdraw only amount what I needed. So I need not to withdraw whole amount. If I withdraw whole amount, I have to pay the full interest, isn't it? So in order to avoid the interest, I can withdraw small amount, and only the amount what I withdrawn, the bank will charge us the interest. This is the meaning of the cash credit. Now let's go to the next slide. Term loan. What do you mean by term loan? A term loan is a loan from the bank for a specific amount that has a specified repayment schedule, and a floating interest rate is called a term loan. See, under term loan, I will go to bank, I will get a loan. Okay, on the base of asset, any asset, bank will grant a loan for me, 1 lakh rupees. But the interest every year it will be changing according to the economy, according to the rate fixed by the RBI. The floating rate means what? So rate will be changing according to the interest rate. Every month interest rate may change. Okay, so on the rate, for example, if it is for this year, it will be 10%. Next year it will be 9%. Again next year it will be 8%. The interest rate will be floating every year. So whatever the actual interest rate on that year, I have to pay that percentage of interest to the bank. So that's what. And it is a specified repayment schedule. What in the schedule? They will give the installment. For every year, we have to pay this much of interest on this much of premium or this much of principal. So every year we will be having specified stipulated time and also stipulated principal amount we have to pay to the bank. This is called as term loan. Next one, overdraft. What do you mean by overdraft? See, overdraft facility is available only for the current account holders. So current account holders can only get the overdraft facility. So it is an overdraft is a facility granted by the bank to current account holders only, whereas if in case there is no amount in the customer's account, the customer can withdraw more amount than his deposit from his accounts. For example, I will be having current account in some other banks. Okay, even though I am having zero balance, I can withdraw more amount from the bank. That is the facility. It is a overdraft means what? It is more than the investment or more than the deposit I can withdraw. So whatever the extra amount or excess money I will withdraw, for that amount bank charges the interest, and that amount should be payable within 3 months to the banks. If we did not pay within 3 months, the bank will charge a certain amount of interest. The amount withdrawal by the overdraft facility can be decided by the bank on the basis of our transaction in the bank. For example, if I am a big business owner, I will be having more overdraft facility. If I am a small business having, and also my transaction is very small, I can get only few amount as a overdraft facility. So the overdraft facility is an extension of loan to the current account holder. So it is a banks provides the overdraft facility for the current account holders, where the customer can withdraw more than his deposits, where the excess money he will withdraw, he has to pay the interest to the bank. This is the meaning of overdraft. See, that's what he said. Overdraft facility will be allowed only for the current account holders only. It is the extension of the credit from the bank when the account balance reaches zero. Even though my account balance is zero, for example, I will purchase an asset. I am a current account holder. I will purchase an asset for 5 lakh rupees. Okay, I am doing the transaction. I am paying through my check or through my bank balance, but I am having only 3 lakh rupees in my bank. Now, my bank balance is only 3 lakh rupees. So if I want to, I will write the check for 5 lakh rupees. Even though I am having 3 lakh rupees, bank will provide 2 lakh rupees extra for that. Is what? Overdraft. So where I can withdraw more amount than my deposit. So banks provides 2 lakh rupees as a loan. So bank will pay the 5 lakh rupees. The remaining 2 lakh rupees I have to pay the interest. I have to repay this 2 lakh rupees within stipulated time with interest. Next point, discounting of bills of exchange. So already we have explained what is the bills of exchange. So what is the discounting of bills of exchange here? Under this system, banks advances loan to the traders and business firms by discounting of their bills. So if in case any bills are there, the customer has not paid the amount, in this situation the supplier of the goods will go to the bank and he will discount the bill. So bank will charge a certain rate of interest and also remaining amount will be paid by the bank. That's why the bills of exchange is very important type of service. Next one, money at call and short notice. It is a lump sum amount given by the bank to the customers, but it will be having very few days. So within 14 or 15 days we have to repay the amount, but banks provides very lump sum facility for the credit money at call and short notice. A money at call and short notice is a very short term loan that does not have a set of repayment schedules. There is no schedule to repayment. It's like 1 month, 3 months or 1 year. So within a very short period we have to pay back the loan. For example, a big industrialist who need the capital for running the business day-to-day activity, working capital of the business. For example, a big directors or a big producer who will get the amount within 6 days. For example, if we release the amount, he will get the amount within a week or within a 15 days or 2 weeks. He will get the amount what he has invested. In this situation, for the release of the movie doesn't have the amount, but once the movie release, he will get amount is back. In this situation, maybe within 3 weeks or within 2 weeks or within 1 week he will get the amount back. In this situation they will go for money at call and short notice. So in this situation a bank will send the notice which is having 14 days. So within 14 days he has to pay the amount to the bank. That's what money at call and short notice. So but it is payable immediately and in full upon demand, as short notice implies that the money is to be repayable on short notice up to the 14 days time. So bank will send a notice to the customer. Within 14 days of the notice he has to pay the amount to the bank. Next one, agency service. What do you mean by agency service? So bank as an agent on behalf of the customer. So for example, my banker can act as an agent. For example, if any information want to collect by the bank, the bank will collect the information for the customer, and also bank will pay the insurance. If any insurance premium not paid, bank will pay the insurance premium. If any amount is not paid to any other lender or any other customers, so bank will perform that duty also. So any organization, if I want to pay any loan to any organization, or bank will pay the amount on behalf of me. If the bank wants to collect any information on behalf of me, bank will collect the information. So it acts as an agent. For example, if I want to invest in any securities, if I inform the bank will do that activity also. So investing in security, collecting the money on behalf of me, so and also transacting the money on behalf of me, and also transferring money from one account to another account on behalf of me. These are the activities agency service conducted by the bank. Next one, bank as an agent can work for people on business and other banks, providing a variety of service depending on the nature of the agreement they make with their clients. So any type of activity bank will perform. It's like it may be transaction, or it may be transferring amount, or it may be investment activity, or it may be information collection. So any type of activity, but bank will charge certain rate of commission for the agency service. Next one, commercial banks collects checks, draft, bills of exchange, interest and dividend on the securities on behalf of its customers. So it may be collection of the interest on behalf of me. So I will be having 10 types of business. So I cannot handle all the business. What I can do, I will go to the bank and I will give the commission to the bank on behalf of me. The bank will collect the security interest. The bank will perform or pay the interest. The bank will exchange the bills of exchange for me, and also bank will provide the loan on behalf of me, where the loan can be repayable in later, and also the payment of LIC premium. This is also one of the important function conducted by the bank, and also providing rent or collecting rent, and also newspaper bills. So any bills if you want to pay, it may be electricity bill. If you pay the check, bank will pay the electricity bill, or it may be rent payable, bank will pay the rent, and also telephone bills also payable through bank. So these are all the facility provided by the bank to its customers. Next one, advise right type of investments. If in case I'm in dilemma, I'm in confusion which type of securities I have to purchase, if I go and approaches the bank will very give the valuable information to its customers where which type of securities I have to purchase, where I can investment, this type of facility given by the banks. Next one, bank prepares income tax returns on their for their customers. So if I don't have time to return my income tax, so or file my income tax, so if I forget every month or every year, so bank will do the duty on time within delaying any time. Okay, so this type of duties or services provided by the banks like a agent, but bank will charge us some interest for this type of duty. Next one, bank provides locker facility to its customers. So banks, for example, if I'm having any valuable things, it may be cash or it may be gold, it may be any valuable asset properties, it may be information, or it may be bonds, or it may be documents. For all those, bank will provide the locker facility and charge some interest. Next one, issue of letter of credit. What do you mean by letter of credit? See, I cannot take money everywhere. If I take a letter of credit and from the bank, if I submit that letter of credit in the other country, that other country's bank will provide the finance, whatever the, for example, if I go to the bank and deposit the amount to the bank in my bank, and if I get the letter of credit, if I submit that letter of credit throughout the world, I will get the money what I have deposited here. So before ATM facility, letter of credit was very famous in the banking sector. So now we are having ATM, we will go to ATM anywhere in the world and we will collect the money or we will withdraw the money. But before ATM, letter of credit was doing the duty. If I deposit the amount in the bank and get a letter of credit in the bank in Mysore where I am transacting, and also if I go to America as a tourist, I need not to take the money. If I go to America and approach the American branch and show the letter of credit for them, so they will give the amount what I needed. It's like just like a dealing with ATM. Now, bank collects the statistics. So what do you mean by that? See, if in case IDBI, by providing the finance for the industrial development, it also collects or it also conducts some surveys in the industrial sector and also gets the information. That information will be transferred to the government. So government will take certain steps to develop the industries, or if there is any problem, that problem will be solved by the government. If you come to the agricultural sector, the NABARD will do that duty. So NABARD will go to the, while providing the loan also, in which sector actually problem is there, where the farmers are facing the problem and how to solve this problem, what type of finance they are in need, or which type of development we need in the agricultural sector. This information will be provided by the collected by the NABARD, or it may be any other agricultural banks, and it will collect the information from the agricultural bank and rural development banks. It will transfer this information to the government. So by collecting the information from the agricultural industry, or it may be agricultural sector, it will helps to develop the agricultural sector in India. Next one, bank collects statistics for giving important information about the industry, trade and commerce. It may be industry or it may be agriculture or it may be any other sector. So bank will provide the information to the government. Next one, underwriting securities. What do you mean by? So they will fix the actual price of the security, and also bank underwrites the securities issued by the government public operate bodies. So if any government industries is there, government companies is there, for those companies the underwriting means calculating or the fixing the actual price of the securities. This type of activity conducted by the bank. So when they fix the price or when they underwrites the, so it may be registration of the security or it may be telling the actual price of the security. So bank do this type of duties. So if they underwrite the securities, securities will get sold with more amount. So in the next session, we are going to discuss recent trends in the bank development of the bank. You see, in this current session, we will discuss about the traditional service provided by the bank. So in the next session, we are going to discuss on the recent development, whatever the recent development happened in the banking sector, and also how the banking sector is helping in the development of the Indian economy. These points will be discussed in the next session. Till then, thank you so much. Thank you for watching.